The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to another Soccer to the Max here, as there is plenty to get to with NWSL action, MLS action, the U.S. men's national team losing to Ireland, the U.S. women's national team getting their call-ups ready to play China in a double, and more stuff. The World Cup 2026 countdown continues, and more. But here, along with me, of course, is Mr. Erik Watkins.
Damn it, Ben! Damn it, Don! Damn it, Jason! Damn it, damn it! Hi.
Damn it, we got them all out there. Can you really
and don't even get me started about what happened at the U.S. national team. The only thing that's good about that is I have one of my best friends who's Irish.
And your buddy Bill Hamid just shat the bed, too.
Yeah, this is what you get for going to Denmark, Bill! Like you.
Now it's Bill is on first name basis, too. We're just going to hit everybody. I don't know if there's too much to complain about with Jill, though. She had some interesting call-ups there.
Oh, Sean, there's always something to complain about with Jill Ellis. We'll see about the first match. We shall see.
We'll get to that in a second. Here, we might as well start with the U.S. men's national team falling 2-1 to Ireland. They scored first with a Bobby Wood goal near the brink of halftime, and then it was all Ireland after that. You did have some guys make their national team debuts and everything else, but honestly, Bill Hamid did not help the team any. Basically, his complete gaffe, running into a bunch of players and falling down, greatly helped the first goal. And yeah, he made a couple of nice saves, but aside from that, I don't think you can really say he had a great night.
Like a fresh keg into a Dublin pub, the curse of Dublin rolls right in. Bill, listen, if you're going to do something stupid, could you at least do it with your FIFA version of yourself like David De Gea? Come on now. Did you have to do that in reality? Oh, Christ. At least I know I can eat Danish now. Oh, God.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of great things to talk about from this game. I mean, Tim Weah looked okay, but there's times where he just went on by himself and didn't help anyone. He didn't have the scoring touch this time. I think Bobby Wood might have been one of the few that you could have said something positive about. I thought Matt Miazga his header helped get the goal, but the back line was not helping things at all after that. Cameron Carter-Vickers looked shaky. He had that really bad foul where he obviously just pulled the guy down because he had no other way to keep him from getting past them. DeAndre Yedlin had some bad tackles. Jorge Villafana didn't look good either. Will Trapp looked okay at times, and then he just looked completely out of his element because I don't know why Dave Saracen just put him right in front of the defense like that with little help. There wasn't a lot of... If the whole team fell out of sync to me, is what it felt like for large parts of that game.
They just didn't... I don't know what it was about that defense, but they just did not look good. I mean, Sean, I think you're being generous when you say Cameron Carter-Vickers was shaky. He was just downright bad. Putting him and DeAndre Yedlin together on that right side, I thought for the most part, Jorge Villafana and Matt Miazga were doing semi-decently well on the left, but oh my gosh, that right flank was just disastrous. I mean, as soon as they got him off, and I think it was Tim Parker that went in for him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as soon as Tim Parker went in, DeAndre Yedlin looked so much more comfortable.
I'd agree. He did. He came up with a couple of actual, like, really good challenges at the right moment. James McClain was being a total pest for them. So was Jonathan Walters, for that matter. Both of them were really good for them. Jonathan Walters almost had a goal by himself. I just, I think it's different to play the Bolivia C team and then to come in and play kind of Ireland's A team or A minus team, and you're still playing with a lot of youngsters. No Pulisic here, so you don't have that spark in the midfield. I think Weston McKennie had his moments, but him and Tyler Adams didn't seem to work that well either together. I think Martin O'Neill also is much more experienced than Dave Sarakin as far as in modern times what you're doing. So I think you could say a little bit of being out-coached as well here.
There was, and I'll admit, Ireland did very well as far as changing tactics, because at first it would seem like they were more willing to just, in the first half, counter, and then just flood that attacking third, flood it. And then once they actually scored in the second half, it's like, okay, sit and wait. U.S. is going to make mistakes, which they did, and then whoosh.
Yeah, sorry for the technical problems. Don't know where that's coming from, but just have to bear with it right now. I just hope that the U.S. looks decent against France. Like, France absolutely embarrassed Ireland, so they had a reason to come back and want to look good here, but even with Zach Steffen back in goal and maybe some changes there, I don't know.
Zach Steffen better be in goal. I am so sick of the whole let's just keep trying everyone out and see what happens. Everyone knows that he is your goalkeeper for the future. So put him in, give him some time, let's see what he can do. And to be quite honest, I think no matter what on a Saturday's match, you have to remember that this is France. This is a France that is going to put some of their stars in because they want to get ready for the World Cup. Now, that being said, they're going to be cautious of, potential injuries or whatever. But this is a really good France team against a really young and very inexperienced and a non-World Cup qualified United States team. Zach Steffens, they're probably going to lose. Let's face it, they're probably going to lose. So be easy on him. He's your guy for the future.
Exactly. Let's just make sure that the team gets some nice cases of good French wine, and then that'll be that.
Yeah, I mean, give him that chance to test himself against some of the best that you're going to see, not only at the World Cup, but in the world playing right now. So we haven't even we already previewed France's group, but we talked about them having embarrassment of riches. They can put out the B team that's supposed to be on the bench, and they're going to be like loads better than whatever the U.S. is going to put out there. So, I hope you play a lot of the youngsters, let them get that experience out there against those guys, and let's see what happens. But more concerning for the U.S. is that 2026 United bid going up against Morocco. Both bids passed, but the U.S. bid was 13 points higher than the Morocco bid, 4 to 2.7 right now. And in some cases, like the stadiums, facilities, transportation, ticketing and hospitality, they absolutely floored Morocco.
The hospitality part isn't saying too much.
Well, what I'm saying, the risk for Morocco is extremely high in accommodation, in transportation, and stadiums. I think they said, 19 of the 9 of the 13 stadiums have to be built completely, whereas the United States don't have that problem at all. The only risk that the United bid had was government support, which we know where that comes from, human rights and labor standards, which that's because it's being held in 3 different countries, and organizing costs, which is also because it's being held in 3 different countries. So when you factor all that in, it's just really hard if FIFA is supposed to be, revamped and better than they were in 2018 and 2022, where they, they're giving these bids to countries that had very high risks just because they felt like it. You have to give it to the bid that's completely out doing the other one. So here's what their statement was. The task force's statement was at the end of this entire thing. The amount of new infrastructure required for the Morocco 2026 bid to become reality cannot be overstated. While this is covered in the report in regard to many of the bid's individual components, the Bid Evaluation Task Force considers it its duty to emphasize significant overall risk on a compounded basis of a bid that has so many facilities, from stadiums and training sites to major transport infrastructure and accommodation projects that would need to be built or completely renovated. That doesn't sound good.
Look, we're still a long way from the 13th, and I'm going to throw out one word. Qatar. I'm sorry. In my mind, there's still a lot of ways where this could be screwed up.
Oh, it could be, especially if somehow that thing goes through that make Qatar the first World Cup that has 48 teams. Good Lord, dude. I feel bad for that country and their people.
I don't. It's like, hey, you paid for this. Let the buyer beware.
But they didn't pay for that. That FIFA was going to get overeager and just go, hey, y'all are just dealing with it now.
It's like, hey, you wanted a World Cup? We're just giving you more bang for your buck.
Well, yeah, you would think that there's certainty in that the United bid is going to win, but you never know at this point. I wish we could just be talking about, like, there's no way that the Morocco bid would go through, but it's FIFA we're talking about. So.
Exactly. This is FIFA. And had you asked me a year ago that I would have been doing the things that I did 1 week ago Friday, I would have probably smacked you in the face. But I did. So there's that. Anything can happen.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all there. So, yeah, just an update to that as that continues to fluctuate until the 13th, but it's going to go down to the wire because both bids passed. So that's where we're at with that. Officially, the Cincinnati into MLS was done after we did a podcast, and they are going to play in the 2019 season, and they're going to play in Nippert Stadium, and then they're going to get moved into their West End Stadium whenever it is ready.
From what I've heard, is that would be for 2021.
Right, 2021. So no, but they're going to start playing in 2019, but their stadium won't be until 2021. Yeah.
Right. So they'll give them 80 years. Now, Don, the Buckeye Bash. Really? You can make this a thing, Don. Don't screw this up.
Woo, Ohio Valley! Pittsburgh's still better, but
anybody wants to come up with anything with better alliteration, tweet me. Hashtag @SquidSportsHead.
Well, we better get ready for the inevitable. They're going to Austin, but hey, it's MLS. So, again, anything is possible, right?
It's on you, Don. You can save this, Don. Don't do me like this again, Don.
They have they've given a team to Miami that still doesn't have a stadium situation. They got worse somehow after they were named an official MLS team. I don't know how that happens, but only in Miami, I guess. The Nashville situation seems to be ready to go, but they're going to have to figure out where to play for 2020, and it seems like the Titans Nissan Stadium is going to be the situation for them. So. Hey.
From what I've seen about with their plans for the fairgrounds and that area to build their stadium, I get that there's a lot of proponents against it, but I think it could be a nice little convenient part of town. Why the hell did I just say that? What is wrong with me?
Wait, did you say something nice about Nashville?
Yeah,
whoa, what happened?
Eric,
said something about
are you okay?
Nashville.
I don't know anymore. What that just came out.
This is because you're sober.
I need a shake. I need rum. Help.
This is all because you're sober. Eric, damn it, Eric, no more podcasts sober.
I'm sorry.
Have you
this
mark it down, people? Eric
said
said something good about Nashville.
I'm ashamed.
I don't know if hell's frozen over, but it might be close.
Anybody, if you're listening to this, go outside, check if the sky is cracked, see if there are any trails of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I need to know so I can run.
Oh my gosh. Well, if that doesn't cut it, Navy, knowing that Don Garmer is going to be part of the class of 2018's Hall of Fame for the National Soccer Hall of Fame, that'll get Erik going back in the right direction.
3.
The right damn mind made that decision. Do you know who you're dealing with here? Damn it, Don. Who did you weasel to get that honor? What is wrong with you?
I mean, Erik is... Yeah, he's got to keep the bit going. But, I mean, let's be fair. MLS has certainly grown since 1999 in a way that I don't think anybody would have envisioned had Don Garmer not been there. Look, let's be honest. He's not perfect at all. There's so many bad things you can say about the guy, including this terrible CBA that they put the players into, but they agreed to it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, name one league that hasn't grown since 1999.
I know, but the league has grown in attendance numbers and so many other ways. You have to attribute it to somebody, and normally the commissioner gets that credit.
Yeah, normally the commissioner gets credit, but that doesn't stop me from wanting to punch him in the face. Ask Gary Bettman. Ask Roger Goodell.
Also, MLS has been the only league that's apparently learned how to use VAR correctly. So,
well, of course, we as Americans, we invent instant replay. We give it as a gift to the world, and they screw it up. So, hey, that's just us.
There's that as well. Brad Friedel is also part of this class. I don't think we have to go down his accomplishments. There's no doubt that he should be in. He was in
three World Cup squads,
including the 2002 one that has the best U.S. performance ever. He played for Liverpool, Blackburn Rovers, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, that's a huge list of... In a time where you didn't have U.S. players playing in those kinds of clubs, Brad Friedel was the constant.
And especially the fact that they were like all throughout mid-table and on the rise Premier League clubs. Those are really nothing to sneeze at.
Certainly not. And two women also make part of this company as well, Rachael.
Woo!
Sydney Parlow-Cohn, who scored 75 goals in her 11 years with the national team. She won the 99 World Cup, 2 Olympic gold medals. She was the youngest American player to win a World Cup and an Olympic gold. I mean, she also was the coach for the Portland Thorns' first NWSL title, too.
Before the reign of Mark Parsons took over. Oh, why couldn't she just stay in Portland?
So many things that you wonder about in those times. Tiffany Milbred also in here. She has 100 goals and 206 U.S. caps. She won the 96 Olympic gold medal. She also, of course, won the 99 World Cup too. So, props to her as well. She played, and she's currently a coach for the Colorado Storm under 16, under 17 girls team. So she's still involved in the sport too. Pretty awesome. You got 2 women on the ballot here.
You're darn right you do. It's about damn time.
And also you got a U.S. soccer president on here that was around for all these wonderful accomplishments, for mainly by the women. And yeah, obviously for the 2002 Men's World Cup run too. So congrats to Dr. Bob Contigula.
Wait, hang on.
Contiguglia.
Contiguglia? Contiguglia.
There it is, your official pronunciation by the
pronunciation expert,
Erik Watkins.
Watkins.
Well, we talked about the women. The women's national team are getting ready to play 2 games here in pretty quick succession. They play June 7th at Rio Tinto at 9 p.m. Eastern, FS1. They play against China. They also play against China in Cleveland, ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Eastern on June 12th. So a couple of days before the World Cup starts, you can watch the women play China as well. So the big thing here is you have 4 women that have never been captive for getting named, as well as Christian Press coming back, along with Amy Rodriguez and a few others here. Those who you would expect on the goalkeeping side, Ashlyn Harris, Alyssa Nair, Casey Murphy and Abby Smith are 2 of the uncapped who will probably not play, but I guess it's a nice thing to say in the press release. Albie Dahlkamper, Tierna Davidson, Sofia Huerta. Yes, she's named a defender here. Merritt Mateus is also one of the uncapped. Margaret Purse, the other uncapped player, Becky Sauerbrunn. Midfield, you got Morgan Bryan, Julie Ertz, Lindsay Horan, Carly Lloyd, Samantha Mewis, Allie Long, and McCall Serboni getting called again. That's awesome. Crystal Dunn getting called as a forward. We'll see if she actually plays there. Tobin Heath, Savannah McGaskill, Alex Morgan, Kristen Press, Megan Rapinoe, and Amy Rodriguez. What do you think, Rachael?
Well, and today the number was brought up to 25 because Rose Lavelle healthy enough to return to the team. I have to say I am very surprised that Jim Gabarra, the head coach for the Washington Spirit, worked with Jill Ellis to get her there, because that means, she missed some time. I mean, she's missed a lot of time already for club, so to have her miss even more time, more training, I'm very surprised with Jim Gabarra. And listen, I'm going to start with the goalkeepers first. Casey Murphy and Abby Smith better get some damn time, because there is a clear picture in the last few matches that Alyssa Nair is not your number one. Ashlyn Harris is no better. They are completely inconsistent in league play. Hell, I've been called crazy on Twitter this whole weekend, by the way, at Rachael McKriger, for saying that Emily Boyd should be in goal over Alyssa Nair for the Chicago Red Stars. I mean, I just don't really care for her because of the inconsistency. I think giving Casey Murphy a shot, she was just named the top goalkeeper in France for the season. That is there's a world of competition for that. And to have an American being named that for a team that isn't Lyon or PSG is pretty darn impressive. Abby Smith, I was kind of surprised with her call-up. She's been a little shaky for Utah this year, but completely new team, still getting adjusted. I mean, this is somebody who came in through the Boston Breakers dispersal draft. So the goalkeepers, I'm so sick and tired of Alyssa Nair. I'm very tired of Ashlyn Harris. It's time to give Casey Murphy a shot. She deserves it. And to my dear Jill, can we please stop playing people out of position? I thank you for putting Crystal Dunn as a forward, meeting me halfway, but you took like 15 steps back by putting Midge Purse as a friggin' defender. And I'm so sick of seeing Sofia Huerta as a defender too. Midge Purse plays as a midfielder for the Portland Thorns, regular starter, something that you would have never expected coming from Boston. Sofia Huerta, killing it for Chicago. I personally think she's having a better season than Sam Kerr. Maybe the numbers are different, but I don't know, just my opinion. But something else I don't understand is why players like Savannah McCaskill are getting called up. She has done nothing to impress me with Sky Blue. Carly Lloyd hasn't done anything to impress me either, but you know that they're still going to call her up because of her name, because they think there's still something left when clearly there isn't, because she has been absolutely horrendous, as has been Savannah McCaskill for Sky Blue. Oh, Jill, Erik, please help me out here. Jill,
listen to the people have
Erik sounds like the freaking guy from Wizard of Oz right now, with like the stuff coming behind him every time he talks. Just laughing. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Erik.
The people have to find positions for a reason. Do I have to go run your fun from wooden overcoats on you? Now look here. You play this. They're good at this. Do it. This is like real life Football Manager. Even I could figure that out.
You got to play that X formation.
I just don't understand why there's a need to play.
It had to go away. Sorry, Rachael.
No, you're good. I just don't understand why there's a need to play these players out of position. You have the whole NWSL and players overseas at your disposal. You can't tell me that you can't find two defenders to relieve Sofia Huerta and Midge Purse from the defensive slot. You seriously can't tell me that? Good God, Jill.
Well, she wants to call those players in, but all these other players that she's calling in the midfield go there. So how else do you call them in?
Right, but I mean, like, why is Morgan Bryan getting called in? She did absolutely nothing for Lyon. I mean, there was reports this week that her contract is being cut short so she can come back to the NWSL because she's literally done nothing. She's been injured for so long. She's not healthy, yet you're still calling her in. That is, you take her out of there and you put Sofia Huerta or Midge Purse, one of the two, in her position, there's one of your problems. You can't look around the whole NWSL and find defenders. Megan Klingenberg, where's she at? Oh, good Lord. If Allie Krieger wasn't injured, I'd say Allie Krieger too, but 4 to 6 weeks. with an MCL. Oh, Jill.
Yeah, we'll see how they go. They're playing China. I hope Amy Rodriguez gets some playing time just to get to see her back.
Yes, please.
And everybody else is as you would expect, I think. So.
And your girl's going to be in Cleveland for the game, so if you're there, come say hi.
Exactly. It's not like you're going to have anything else good going on in Cleveland.
Amen.
Damn right. So that leads us into NWSL action for the past week and a half, I want to say. That game that we were talking about between North Carolina and Portland, that wound up being a 4-1 thrashing for North Carolina. Who knew that big game, the rematch of the final, was supposed to be some thriller? It was not. Utah continues to leave Sky Blue winless. Chicago beats Washington. North Carolina gets to draw with Houston. That's a shocker. Seattle plays their first game of the entire week, and they draw with Orlando. So North Carolina owns a 12-point lead over Seattle right now, even though Seattle has 2 games in hand still, but they are just running away with this thing. Houston just put a little bit of a stopgap on it.
And I hate to admit it, but I'm actually impressed with Houston because while, yes, there were 5 North Carolina Courage players called up for the U.S. women's national team, you still had Lynn Williams, Jess McDonald, Caitlin Rowland in goal. I mean, they still were a complete team. Kristen Hamilton you had there. As much as I hate to say her name, Jaylene Hinkle. I mean, you had a complete team. Houston had a fairly decent complete team. I know they had a couple call-ups, not for the U.S. women's team, but for like Canada and some other clubs. But I was impressed. I hate to admit it. Vera Paw, don't get too comfortable. I won't be saying that a lot this season. But if Houston would have won that match, they would have already been in 3rd place. The fact that they're above Washington and Utah is just, I don't even know what to say. It's not what I expected from this season. And oh my gosh, is Washington a disappointment this season? I feel so bad for Ashley Hatch going from winning North Carolina to that.
Well, I mean, Washington kind of got left with a lot of their main players, so that the squad that's going to play on the 8th against the now without Carly Lloyd and without Savannah McGaskill, you would think that's going to give Washington 3 points and make things a little closer there. But, geez. Yeah.
Washington should be without Ashley Hatch. Damn it, Jill Ellis, call her in.
I'm surprised no Mallory Pugh as well getting called in.
Mallory Pugh is injured right now.
Okay.
She has a knee injury. They don't know how long she's out for.
Yikes. Well, hopefully she feels better. But like I said, with those international call-ups going on, Seattle at 18 points in second behind a North Carolina team that has 30 points. Seattle does have those 2 games in hand, but even then, they'd still be 6 points behind. That's if they won all of their games. Orlando is behind them at 16. Portland 15, Chicago 15, Utah 14, Houston 14, and then the bottom drops out with Washington with 8 points and Sky Blue still with that lonely point, winless on the year. Yeah, I mean...
They could have gotten another draw, but Mandy Freeman had an own goal. Oh, poor Sky Blue.
Like I said, things don't look good for them at all on the 8th. And then the whole NWSL takes a little break until the end of the qualifiers. And during the World Cup, they will be continuing to play games. So we'll have NWSL action to talk about that Rachael will be watching. I don't know if Erik and I will be able to be watching it because we'll be on World Cup sort of almost daily duty. So
I'm literally never going to sleep between World Cup and NWSL, but it's fine.
Nah.
Well, the NWSL I may be able to manage, but the World Cup I'm going to be watching at work. So, yeah. Needless to say, I'm going to have every advantage I can so I can try to, keep my job.
Yes, that's important. Don't lose your job. I'm gonna have that same problem of, maybe at lunch I get to watch one of the games, but I don't know that they're gonna be too keen on all of us watching it. But I don't know. Like I said, I work with a lot of Latinos, so this is gonna be interesting how that goes at work, if people are gonna be watching it or not, or be sort of interested or not, or whatnot. But yeah, NWSL, they're going to keep things going between that and the women's national team. It's going to be fun for them. The MLS is going to take a break, though, after Open Cup that happens during the midweek, and then the last set of games that are all being played on June 9th. Then they take a little 2-week break. But getting into the action from this week, let me tell you, I'm surprised as all hell that Dallas just continues to win games, but that they do. New England drew with Atlanta. Philadelphia beat Chicago 3-1. Salt Lake beat Houston 2-1. Dallas, even with 2 goals from Zlatan, still won 3-2. Vancouver won 2-1. Portland drew with the Galaxy, so the Galaxy got a point out of 2 games. Atlanta beat Philadelphia. Columbus and Toronto drew at 3. That was a thrilling game. Montreal beat Houston. New England beat the Red Bulls. NYCFC blanked Orlando 3-0.
Why don't you just leave already, Patrick Vieira?
Why would he want to? The team is winning a lot. Dallas 2-1 over LA, so they beat both LA teams. Again, they still haven't hit the summer slump. I'm waiting for them to hit July and then absolutely just bottom out like they usually do. But I am very excited right now. Chicago 2-1 over San Jose. Salt Lake beats Seattle. I'm sorry, Rachel. And Sporting beats Minnesota 4-1.
There's that Minnesota team I know and love.
I don't want to talk about Seattle right now. They're pissing me off.
They're just absolutely just making everyone look awful. So this is what this looks like right now for the MLS. Atlanta with a 2-point lead over NYCFC, 29 points. NYCFC 27. Columbus right there at 26. There's a logjam at 4th and 5th with the Red Bulls and Revolution at 22. Orlando sits there right above the line at 19. Philadelphia 18, Chicago 17. The bottom drops a little bit. Montreal at 12. Toronto, your MLS Cup champions, still bad and still have not won away from home at all. With 11 points. DC United, though, Erik, just still sucking it at 9 points.
Counting on that shiny new stadium, aren't you, Ben? Clock's ticking.
Wait till he loses one time in the new stadium and they sack him right there.
Good. Perfect. You got there, you were still crap. Goodbye. Hell, I'll even pack up his office himself.
Have to get an RFK reference in every show.
We have to.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't.
It's almost the law at this point. Just a mandate that's done before we start the show. How do we get RFK involved in here? On the west side, Sporting KC is still by a big margin, winning things nicely over a lot of the other teams in the West. 28 points for them. FC Dallas trying to hold steady at 26. Real Salt Lake. FC Dallas still hasn't lost at home, by the way. Real Salt Lake with 22. LAFC right there with 21 at Portland. And Vancouver bringing up the rear at the bottom of the line at 20. Houston has 18. The Galaxy have 17. Zlatan is still not paying that many dividends. Minnesota at 16. And then just absolutely doing awful. San Jose at 9, Colorado and Seattle sharing the bottom at 8. Colorado still doesn't win away from home. So
Colorado, listen, you made a mistake by getting a mailman. It's not too late to rectify this. And Scrabble, I keep telling you, you look good in purple. You can do more. You can do better. Come on, where you actually have someone competent. You'll have much better weather, even though the humidity is god awful. Scrabble, hey, you fight for that red line. Come on, it ain't no big deal. Open arms. Just saying.
Oh, Seattle, I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm very, very salty right now.
Well, at least Nicolas Odero is staying because he didn't make the final Uruguay squad. So
yeah, but friggin' half of our other team's injured.
And if you didn't know, the newest story with NYCFC is that Patrick Vieira has apparently a 90% deal done with Nice for 2 years, but the other 10%, which is the hardest part, is not done yet, even though Vieira says that there's nothing to it at all. We'll see how that goes. This is the key we're talking about. They don't play around with their reports.
Why the hell didn't you just call me in with that other 10% before the Orlando game? I could have helped maybe him cut that to 7.
He
Come
still
on
would have
now.
coached that game probably. But yeah, that's going to be a storyline every week for NYCFC, especially during the break that they have where they're not playing. Vieira is just going to have a heck of a time. Maybe he goes to Russia to watch France, and maybe Nice just keeps getting on that phone. Who knows? Maybe he takes a secret trip to France. And
Too little, too late, if you ask me.
I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. In the best season NYCFC is having, you go and do that. So,
well, I mean, look at what he said last year where they were having a fantastic run. He flat out told his team, look, we ain't beating Toronto. They're going to win the league. He proved out to be right, and they just quit trying. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Well, right now, Toronto is doing awful.
Well, that's a championship hangover, but I'm just saying, it's all like, look at these two teams here. Y'all ain't going to beat them. I'm out. I'm going back home. I'll send y'all croissants. Au revoir.
Not just championship hangover, but a CONCACAF Champions League final hangover as well. Just absolute demolition for that team right now. And yeah, I think that's sort of it. We will be discussing the final week of MLS for a little bit for the World Cup at the back end of our also World Cup predictions show that we'll be doing. And, of course, we'll continue with the World Cup group previews. We still got to preview E, F, G, and H before we get to that final day. So probably Monday, Wednesday, might do like some kind of double header on Wednesday. And then Thursday, knock them all out. And then get y'all ready for that last U.S. men's national team game. We'll also cover the U.S. women's national team game as well. I forgot about that for a second. And, yeah, so lots to talk about in this last week before the World Cup where the American side of things is concerned. So you'll hear a lot from us pretty soon. And don't forget, we did a World Cup D preview. So you want to check out that as well. And again, like I said, Erik and I will be almost daily, not the 14th, but starting the 15th of June, every night talking about the games that have happened that day. So make sure you check back with us for that. If you like what you heard, you'll get more of us pretty soon, all this week and more. Of course, make sure you check everything that Rachael does over on Last Word on Soccer, because that's some terrific writing that you are missing right there, especially if you're an NWSL fan. And even U.S. men's national team, she got in on the recap on that against Ireland. And yeah, make sure you check out W2Net.com, and we will see you later, everybody.
Hey.
See ya.